Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Dark Side of Adderall. Today I'm going to talk about Adderall and the ego, the self, delusions of grandeur, and manic tendencies. So when you take Adderall, you really are a bottle rocket toward whatever it is you want to get done. Very much in the material world, very much taking care of things. However, you're also very much in your mind. And a lot of things I've read, or actually a few of the things I've read, have pointed out that there's no indication that Adderall makes you smarter. There's no indication that Adderall makes you more cognitive. They think a lot of the cognitive benefits come from the fact that what it really does is makes you feel good. And one of the things it makes you tend to feel good about is yourself. Proud of yourself, satisfied, self-assured, streamlined, go. And that can make you feel like you're pretty awesome. And sometimes in my usage, I would find myself thinking I was better than other people because I was operating on a higher frequency wavelength, and I was like, if you can't, a little more not judgmental of others as much as I might be on or off it. That didn't change, but imagining myself ranked up to the people I was with instead of just being there with them, maybe in some instances. Not always, not overbearing. There are certain times when an Adderall memory makes it seem like the Adderall was coming on stronger. And in some of these, like when I first started using again, when I was in my 20s, I remember one time I came home and I just took my clothes off and ran around and was like, woo, and maybe that's just being young, but also it's something, making sure I still have battery. So there's that, but sometimes in conversations on Adderall, you're just so full of yourself, and talking alone feels like it's pleasurable. It's like words coming out. It's like a release, and it feels good. And sometimes I would find myself using people I met at a social event like a journal, and I was just scribbling all over their time that they were willing to spend with me. And I think that's part of the reason, on Adderall, I was never successful with dating. I mean, this video isn't Adderall on dating, or dating on Adderall. But it was hard on that because of my relationship with myself. And dating is a whole other thing that has to do with your relationship with yourself and how that translates to another. But back to stay on focus here. Adderall made me cocky and not confident, or sometimes confident, I don't know, confident. And what really makes confidence has more to do, I think, with what you do and how you choose to carry yourself rather than kind of just whatever hits you. I find that using a drug like this to project the trajectory of your life, it's like something that's hitting you and you're reacting to who you are instead of being who you are into the world. And doing these drugs just makes it almost like your existence is more passive because you're just being propelled by your drug usage. It really can have a hold on your entire life, and it changes every part of your life. The third point I was talking about is manic behavior on Adderall. Once I was speaking with a colleague at work. I'm going to make sure it's filming. And she chose to tell me about a time she had a manic episode and how she felt, and that she was drawing on the walls and writing, and she thought that she was in touch with God and that like pure energy was pushing her. And when she was describing it in more details, we talked, I was like, that to me sounds like my Adderall experience. Almost like I was trying, and I was like, maybe you did hear the word of God. And of course, I was being a little bit, probably not a good thing to be like encouraging these thoughts, but to some extent, I think maybe when you are propelled by something, it could be a divine nature. But of course, if you're not being manageable, you gotta get managed. But nonetheless, when she was describing it, I became reminiscent and almost fond of using Adderall because it brought forth those kinds of like deep, purposeful feeling, where that feeling can exist off Adderall, but on Adderall, it just, at that time in my life, when I took Adderall, I really felt like I was on track, and that was really helpful and made me just work in all kinds of directions. So I don't know if there's much more to say on this topic, but thanks for watching these videos. It means a lot to me when I can, when I was taking and quitting Adderall, I looked online and I would read WebMD about like Adderall withdrawal, but that was it. And some people have been really grateful that I talked about this really specific situation. So if it helps you, I'm really glad it helps you. Part of, I guess, moving on or seeing the purpose in the entirety of all my drug use is to communicate and hopefully, heal and prevent problems due to using too many amphetamines in the form of Adderall. And I look forward to making more videos. Thank you so much. Wait, I do have more to say about it. About when it came to quitting, the way my personality changed, the way I became a different person. That makes me think that on Adderall I was someone else, totally different person. So it's almost, you have to like surrender your ego during a withdrawal in order to allow your true self to come out, because you're on Adderall. It's almost like you have a different ego. Your ego being how you see yourself, you have a different one. So it's seriously, when you get off it, it's like you have to get a new relationship with yourself, because you were a different self when you're on it. It's crazy. That's how it affects the ego.